I'm a goddamn top certified. So when I decided to spice things up, I went online and ordered myself an incubus. The ad promised cuddly, submissive, and soft. Perfect little plaything. But I think they fucked up my order. The guy who showed up is gorgeous, sculpted like a downtown statue and hotter than hellfire. But when he dropped his pants, holy shit, he was packing more heat than me. I locked myself in the bathroom, frantically calling customer service. You sent me the wrong model. I think this one's trying to top me. Their reply, our incubi are custom matched to the user's true nature. Sir, perhaps you're actually a bottom.
Fuck that.
Demanding a refund. But he heard everything, and now he's planning his revenge. During the day, he coos while feeding me.
Good boy.
Get it all in. Don't you spit it out. At night, he says the exact same thing. I ordered a cuddly, soft-bodied incubus online. The description said this model wasn't just gentle and obedient. With a little training, he'd be down for all sorts of positions. Plus, he supposedly loved to just come over and lick you for no reason. For a top like me, that's a goddamn lethal attraction. I hit confirm purchase without a second thought preparation. I bought him cute cow print pajamas, bunny ear slippers, and a whole bunch of other adorable shit. I was so worried about hurting him on his first time. I even did a ton of research. I'd stay up late every night watching porn, pushing up my glasses and seriously taking notes, circling the important parts. A few days later, my incubus finally arrived. The moment I signed for the delivery, I froze. He was just standing there in front of me. I had to crane my neck to look up at him. My incubus was tall and fucking jacked, with bronze skin, chiseled V-lines, and an aura that screamed both wild and pure sex with, is this right? Where was the sweet, tiny, soft incubus I ordered? I mean, sure. His face was sharp and sculpted, more stunning than any of those heartthrob movie stars on posters. But that didn't stop my disappointment. He gave me a friendly flick of his tail, looking at me with anticipation. Master, my name is Cade. I wasn't in the mood to deal with him. I quickly turned to the delivery guy. Hang on, you brought the wrong package, right? Cade froze. His tail was drooping in midair. Looking dejected, the delivery guy checked the tracking number. Nope, it's the right one. I pressed him, getting anxious. Could you please double check? This isn't the model I wanted. The delivery guy scratched his head. I'm positive, man. I didn't mess up. It might be an issue with the seller.
You should contact them.
I sighed.
Fine.
When I looked back at my incubus, he was staring at the floor looking completely crestfallen. My heart sank. He'd shown up at his new home, all excited. And here I was right in front of him, saying he was the wrong delivery, and I didn't want him. Did I just break his heart? After the delivery guy left, I was eaten up by guilt. I hesitated for a long time before trying to comfort him. Hey, don't be sad. It's not your fault. Cade lifted his eyes to look at me, his voice a little hoarse. Master, you don't like me. I frantically shook my head. No, that's not what I mean. My gaze drifted downward, and I swallowed hard. You're just a little bigger than I expected. He looked down, seeming hurt. Don't worry, Master. I'll make sure you feel good. Seeing him so obedient and understanding, I nodded. He had a good sense of his role as an incubus. So, what if he wasn't the cute, soft little thing I wanted? Who the hell said only small incubi could be bottoms? Why can't a tall, hot incubus take it? We can't have incubus discrimination as a top, with enough grit and determination. I can overcome any challenge. I quickly talked myself into a better mood. I patted Cade on the shoulder, full of confidence. Don't worry. It's my first time too, but I've stayed up late doing my homework. I promise I won't hurt you. Cade nodded, his eyes shining brightly. I gave Cade a full tour of my place, showing him every room. He was a good boy, sticking to me like glue. He never was more than a step away, like a big, clingy puppy. When we got to the bedroom and saw the huge king-size bed, I asked him, so what do you think? You like your new home?
Uh-huh.
As long as I'm with you, Master. I like it anywhere. His voice was deep, laced with a subtle devotion that was hard to miss. Incubus really knew how to turn a guy on. I cleared my throat, the tips of my ears burning. I'm sure you know why I brought you home, right? His gaze was scorching hot as he stared at me. I know. So, when do you want to get down to business? I asked tentatively, worried he might be nervous. I added, it's all up to you. If you're not ready, I will absolutely not force you. But Cade looked even more eager than I was. Any time is fine, Master. He answered without a flicker of hesitation, the passion in his eyes hot enough to melt me. Seeing how composed he was, I was the one who felt awkward. Cheeks flushed. Well, let's take a shower first, then gotta get clean before we do the deed. Being the sneaky guy I am, I'd already showered before he even arrived. I went to the closet to find some clothes for Cade. because he was way bigger than I'd anticipated. All the cute little outfits I bought were useless. Looked like I'd have to do some online shopping.
For now.
I just found some of my dad's old clothes for him to make do with. While Kate was in the shower, my brother video called me. My parents died young, so my brother is the only family I have left. I answered on the screen. My brother's incubus was draped all over him, soft and cuddly, nuzzling his neck. I felt a sour pang of jealousy. Talk about rubbing salt in the wound. The whole reason I wanted an incubus was because my brother's was so sweet, soft and clingy. I never thought the two of them would be such polar opposites. My brother was shamelessly showing off right in my face. Sorry, this little guy is just so clingy. Hey, did your incubus arrive? I was silent for a moment, then answered honestly, he's here. Yeah, but the model seems a little different from what I had in mind. My brother sounded confused. Different how I covered my face with my hand. Well, when he whips it out, it's probably bigger than mine. My brother's laugh was still echoing in my ears when the bathroom door creaked open. Steam billowed out like a fog machine at a bad rave, and through the mist, Kate emerged. I dropped my phone. I didn't even care if the screen cracked. He had a towel wrapped around his waist. A standard bath towel. On a normal human, that towel would go from waist to knees. On Cade, it was fighting for its life, barely covering the essentials, looking like a loincloth on a barbarian king. Water droplets clung to pectoral muscles that looked like they could deflect bullets. His wet hair was slicked back, revealing a face so sharp it could cut glass. Master, he rumbled. Even his voice had bass that vibrated in my chest. I scrambled to pick up my phone, trying to summon my inner top energy.
Focus.
You are the dominant one here. You have the mortgage. You have the credit card. Right? I squeaked. I cleared my throat, dropping it an octave.
Right.
You clean? Scrubbed everywhere, just as you instructed. He took a step toward me. The floorboards didn't creak, but I felt the weight of his presence. He was looming. I had to physically tilt my head back to make eye contact. This was a logistical nightmare. How was I supposed to maneuver that into a submissive position? It would be like trying to wrestle a grizzly bear into a teacup. Okay, good, I said, walking to the bed and patting the mattress. Come here.
Seat.
We need to establish some ground rules. Cade obeyed instantly. He sat on the edge of the bed. The mattress dipped significantly. He looked up at me with those golden, eager eyes, his hands resting politely on his knees. The posture was submissive, but the sheer mass of him made the visual ridiculous. I brought you clothes, I said, pointing to the pile of Dad's old oversized t-shirts and sweatpants I'd laid out. And, these. I held up the bunny ear slippers and the cow print pajama bottoms I had ordered. They were meant for a twink. A cute, pocket-sized twink. Cade looked at the cow print.
He looked at me.
For me? Yes, I said firmly. Put them on. I turned around to give him privacy, listening to the sounds of rustling fabric and the distinct ripping sound of stitching being pushed to its breaking point. Master, he said after a moment. It is snug. I turned back. I had to bite the inside of my cheek to keep from screaming. The cowprint pants were essentially spandex leggings on him. The bunny slippers looked like they were being devoured by his feet. He was wearing an old, world's best dad t-shirt that was tight across his biceps. He looked ridiculous. He looked adorable. He looked like he could snap me in half like a twig. Perfect. I lied.
Now.
Lay back. Cade leaned back against the pillows. He looked like a giant plush toy come to life. I climbed onto the bed, crawling over him on my hands and knees. This was it. The moment of truth. I straddled his hips. My knees didn't even touch the mattress. His thighs were that thick. Okay. I breathed, my heart hammering against my ribs. Now, Cade, I'm going to take care of you. You just relax. You don't have to do anything. Cade's hands hovered over my waist, uncertain. Master, you seem tense. Your heart rate is elevated.
I'm excited.
I snapped, sweating. Now, hush. I reached for the waistband of the cow pants. And that's when the reality of the packing heat comment hit me. I froze. I stared. I did the mental math. It wasn't just bigger than mine. It was a biological weapon. It was a structural impossibility. If I attempted to put that anywhere near my anatomy, I would end up in the emergency room explaining to a nurse why I had been impaled by a mythological creature. My top persona crumbled. My survival instinct kicked in. Master? Cade asked, his voice thick with desire. He bucked his hips slightly, a microscopic movement that sent me bouncing. Hold on, I gasped, scrambling backward off him like he was on fire. Is something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Cade sat up, his ears drooping, that kicked puppy look returning.
No.
No, just, I forgot the lube.
Special lube.
Industrial grade. Stay there. Don't move. I sprinted into the bathroom and locked the door. My hands were shaking as I dialed the number on the packing slip. Infernal Desires, Inc. Thank you for calling Infernal Desires, where your deepest fantasies are just a summon away. For English, press 1. I hit 1 so hard, I nearly cracked the screen. Connect me to support, I hissed when a human or a demon finally picked up. Customer support, this is Arthos. How can I help you terrify your neighbors today? I have a complaint. Order number 667B. You sent me the wrong model. There was the sound of typing. Mister?
Yes.
The soft and cuddly package. 1 incubus male. Name, Cade. Delivery confirmed 2 hours ago. What seems to be the problem? The problem, I whispered furiously, eyeing the bathroom door, is that this guy is the size of a linebacker. He's huge.
He's ripped.
And he is significantly over-equipped in the downstairs department.
I see, Zarthos droned.
Is he aggressive? No, he's polite. He's wearing cow pajamas right now. Is he refusing commands? No, he does whatever I say. Then I'm failing to see the issue, sir. The issue is I am a top. I shouted, then lowered my voice. I am a top. I ordered a bottom. A small, manageable bottom. If I try to top this guy, I'm going to need a stepladder and a prayer. And I suspect he's just pretending to be submissive. Sir, our incubi are custom matched to the user's true nature via a SoulScan algorithm upon purchase. Your algorithm is broken. I want a refund. Send him back. Send me the twink I ordered. I'm afraid returns are only processed if the unit is defective. Cade is a premium model. High stamina, nutritional versatility, loyalty coded. He's too big. Sir, perhaps, and I say this with the utmost respect, you are actually a bottom. Fuck that, I yelled. I am demanding a refund. He's defective because he's incompatible. He's trying to trick me. I can submit a ticket, but it takes 3 to 5 business days.
Phoenix.
Just figure it out. I hung up, breathing heavy. I splashed cold water on my face. Okay, you just have to survive 3 to 5 business days. Keep him at arm's length. No sex. Just roommates. I unlocked the door. Cade was standing right there. He wasn't wearing the cow pajamas anymore. He was back in the towel, leaning against the doorframe. But something had changed. The puppy dog slouch was gone. He was standing at his full height, his arms crossed over that massive chest. His eyes weren't glowing with eagerness anymore. They were glowing with amusement. Refund, he asked. My stomach dropped through the floor. You heard that. I have excellent hearing, master. He took a step forward. I took a step back, hitting the sink. You think I'm the wrong model? Well, look at you, Cade. You're massive. How am I supposed to handle you? Cade tilted his head. A slow, predatory smirk curled his lips. It was the first time I'd seen him smile like that. It made my knees weak, and not in the way I wanted to admit. So you want to return me, because you're afraid? I'm not afraid. You're afraid you can't top me. He stepped into the bathroom. It was suddenly very crowded. Or, are you afraid that the customer service rep was right? Back up, I warned, though my voice lacked authority. You ordered a perfect plaything, Cade murmured, bracing his hands on the counter on either side of me, trapping me. The heat radiating off him was intoxicating. You wanted someone soft.
Someone to take care of.
Someone to feed and dress up. He leaned down, his lips brushing my ear. I can be those things. But maybe you're confused about who is supposed to be doing the taking care of. I am the master, I stammered. Are you? Cade pulled back, his eyes dancing. Then why are you trembling? He reached out and adjusted my glasses. The touch was so gentle, so patronizingly tender, that my brain short-circuited. We have to wait for the ticket to process, Cade said, his voice dropping to a velvety purr. Until then, I guess you're stuck with me. And since you've paid for the full experience. He grabbed my waist. I gasped. He lifted me, literally lifted me off the ground like I was a bag of groceries, and set me onto the bathroom counter. I think I should ensure you get your money's worth. The revenge didn't start with violence. It started with breakfast. I woke up the next morning determined to reassert dominance. I marched into the kitchen, planning to cook a stern, sensible meal. Cade was already there. He was wearing the bunny apron. Just the apron. And the boxers. Good morning, he chirped. The table was set. Pancakes, eggs, bacon, fruit. It looked like a hotel buffet. I didn't tell you to cook, I grumbled, sitting down. You need your strength, Cade said. He walked over with a forkful of pancake. Here. I can feed myself. Open, he commanded. It wasn't a question. The tone was soft, but there was steel underneath it. I opened my mouth before I could stop myself. He fed me. Good boy, he cooed. I choked. Excuse me? You ate it all up.
Good boy.
He patted my head. I slapped his hand away. Don't patronize me. I'm the top. I'm the one who says good boy. Of course you are, Cade said soothingly, loading another fork. But you're so small and cute when you're hungry. Just let me help. I am not small. I am average height. Get it all in, he whispered, pressing the fork to my lips. Don't you spit it out. My face burned. The double entendre hung in the air, heavy and thick. I ate the pancake. This became the pattern. During the day, he was aggressively helpful. He reached things on high shelves before I could even ask, smirking down at me. He carried the laundry, the groceries, and once, when I tripped over the rug, he caught me with one arm and held me there for a solid 10 seconds, just letting me dangle while he checked for injuries. He was dismantling my ego, brick by brick, with weaponized competence and affection. And the worst part? My body was betraying me. Every time he called me good boy, a shiver went down my spine. Every time he manhandled me to help, my breath hitched. I found myself watching him when he wasn't looking, admiring the way his back muscles shifted when he moved, the veins in his forearms. I was doing research, I told myself, looking for weaknesses. 3 days passed. The customer service ticket was still pending. On the 4th night, the storm hit. A massive thunderstorm knocked out the power in the whole neighborhood. My apartment went pitch black. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm really not. But the crash of thunder shook the windows, and I jumped. Master? Cade's voice came from the living room. Are you all right?
Are you fine?
I yelled, my voice cracking. Just stay there. I fumbled for my phone flashlight, but I knocked it off the nightstand. I heard it slide under the bed.
Great.
I sat in the dark, heart racing. Suddenly, the door opened. A faint orange glow illuminated the room. Cade was holding a candle. The flickering light cast deep shadows on his chiseled face, making him look less like a human and more like the demon he was. You jumped, he said softly. It was loud. Startled me. He walked over to the bed and set the candle on the nightstand. Then, without asking, he climbed in. What are you doing? Boundaries, Cade. I'm cold, he lied. He was radiating heat like a furnace. And incubi are prone to anxiety during storms. I need comfort. You need comfort?
Yes.
He wrapped his arms around me and pulled me into his chest. I tried to stiffen, to push him away, but he was so warm and solid. Being the top was exhausting. I was always the one planning, the one worrying, the one in charge. For a second, just a second, I let my head rest against his pectoral muscle. Thump thump, thump thump. There, Cade whispered, stroking my hair. I've got you. Nothing's going to hurt you while I'm here. I'm supposed to be protecting you. I mumbled into his chest. You tried, he chuckled, the sound vibrating through me. You bought me bunny slippers. That was very brave. Shut up. You did all that research, he continued, his hand drifting down my back, tracing my spine. You circled the important parts. You wanted to make sure I felt good.
Yeah, well.
Waste of time. Was it? Cade shifted. His leg hooked over mine. The friction was electric. Because, Master? I think you were researching the things you wanted done to you. I stopped breathing. I saw the browser history, he whispered. I saw the videos you saved. They weren't videos of tops. They were videos of bottoms being praised. I tried to scramble away, but his arm tightened like an iron band. Let go, Cade.
No.
The word hung in the air. He wasn't asking anymore. You ordered a soft, submissive incubus because you were terrified of what you actually wanted, Cade said, his voice dropping to that deep, demonic register that made my toes curl. You wanted permission to let go. You wanted someone to take the control you're so tired of holding. He moved his hand to my chin, tilting my face up. In the candlelight, his eyes were burning. Admit it. I can't. Admit it and I'll give you exactly what you ordered. Just invert it. My resolve shattered. The guilt, the exhaustion, the undeniable attraction to this statuesque monster in my bed, it all crashed down. Maybe, I whispered. Maybe I don't want to be in charge tonight. Cade smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. It was a hungry one. Good boy. The next morning, I couldn't look him in the eye. My legs felt like jelly. My throat was sore. My worldview had been fundamentally altered. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at my coffee. Cade was humming as he made an omelet. He was wearing the dad t-shirt again, but it looked different now. Or maybe I just looked at him differently. I checked my email. Subject: regarding your return request #667B. Dear customer, we have reviewed your claim. We are happy to inform you that we have located a petite/submissive model unit, Lulix, ready for exchange. Please package unit. Cade for pickup tomorrow at 9 a.m. My heart stopped.
Cade, I said.
He turned, spatula in hand. Breakfast is almost ready, Master. They approved the refund. The spatula clattered to the floor. Cade went still. The playful arrogance vanished. He looked at the floor, his shoulders slumping. It was the delivery day all over again. Oh, he said quietly. I see. They have a new model. Lulix.
Petite.
Submissive. That's what you wanted. Cade bent down to pick up the spatula. His movements were slow, robotic. I hope he makes you happy. I hope he fits the pajamas better than I did. He turned off the stove. I'll go pack my things. He walked past me. He didn't look at me. He didn't touch me. I sat there in the silence. I thought about Lulix. A soft, tiny thing I could boss around. Someone who would look up to me. Someone I would have to protect, plan for, and be strong for. I thought about last night. The way Cade had held me down. The way he had whispered praise into my ear while I fell apart. The way he had made me feel safe, cherished, and completely overwhelmed in the best possible way. I looked at the empty spot in the kitchen where a giant, sarcastic, terrifyingly hot demon usually stood.
Fuck, I said.
I jumped up and ran to the bedroom. Cade was folding the cow print pants. He looked up, his eyes rimmed with red. Even demons cry, apparently. I'll leave the slippers, he said hoarsely. Lulix might like them. Put the pants down, Cade.
I'm packing.
Stop packing. I walked over and snatched the cow print from his hands. You are not going anywhere. Cade looked confused. But the refund. You're a certified top. You need a plaything. I am a certified idiot, I corrected. And yeah, maybe on paper I'm a top. Maybe in my head I'm a top. But I took a deep breath, swallowing the last of my pride. But with you, I don't think I can be. And I don't think I want to be. Cade's eyes widened. What are you saying? I'm saying cancel the damn refund. I'm keeping the model. I grabbed the front of his shirt and tried to shake him, which was like trying to shake a tree. I'm keeping you. Even if you are an arrogant, oversized, manipulative jerk who tricked me into admitting I like being the little spoon. A slow smile spread across Cade's face. The tail behind him gave a treacherous little wag. You like being the little spoon? Don't push it. Say it. I like being the little spoon. Cade laughed, a joyous, booming sound. He scooped me up in a bear hug, lifting my feet off the ground. I knew it. The algorithm is never wrong. Yeah, put me down.
No.
He kissed my forehead. I don't think I will. I have to carry you to the computer, so we can send that email. 3 months later. The video call connected. My brother's face popped up. Hey, long time no see, my brother said. How's it going? Did you ever get that refund sorted out? I adjusted the camera. I was wearing a very comfortable, very soft oversized hoodie that definitely belonged to Cade. Nah, I said, leaning back against the headboard. I decided to keep him. Too much paperwork. Oh yeah? Did you manage to train him? You could say that. Just then, the bedroom door opened. Cade walked in. He was shirtless, carrying a tray with snacks. Master, Cade said, his voice deep and carrying clearly over the microphone. I brought your fruit. Did you finish your work? Or do you need to be punished? My brother's jaw dropped. Did he just? I turned red. Cade smirked at the camera, then walked over and sat down behind me, wrapping his massive arms around my waist and resting his chin on my shoulder. He looked like a dragon guarding its gold. Who's this? Cade asked innocently, nipping at my ear. My brother, I squeaked.
Ah.
Cade waved at the screen. Hello.
I'm Kate.
His plaything. My brother squinted. He looked at Cade's eyes. He looked at me, buried in Cade's embrace, wearing the hoodie, looking thoroughly claimed. Right, my brother said slowly. His plaything. Totally. He's very demanding, Cade sighed, tightening his grip on me. But I do my best to satisfy him. I elbowed Cade in the ribs. He didn't even flinch. Anyway, I said loudly. Gotta go.
Busy. Bye.
I slammed the laptop shut. Cade was laughing against my neck. You're terrible at lying. Shut up and feed me a strawberry. What's the magic word? I sighed, leaning back into his warmth. I was never going to live this down. But as his arms tightened around me, making me feel safer and more loved than I ever had in my life, I realized I didn't care. Please.
Daddy.
Cade grinned. Good boy.